Good morning, everyone. I'm Michael J. Steele. I'm running for United States Senate of North Dakota in 2022. There's a lot of things right now that I'm very angry about. Trump is going to take away school lunch programs to fund his wall, which is worse than Darth Vader. This guy has got a lot of serious issues. I'm starting to believe he is the Antichrist. He does anything that's against God or good or holy. Also, he just signed an executive order where they can let fracking waste go into our waterways, our lakes, our rivers, our oceans. He signed a deal last year where the EPA is going to allow legalized asbestos again, so he can sell his asbestos in Russia with his partner Vladimir Putin and all the hotels that they own over there, hotels and housing. So they legalized asbestos so they can sell that to the Russian citizens. Also, he's attempting to take away billions of dollars from the Air Force, which will leave our national security at risk severely. He's just been doing a lot of things to destroy our planet, our country. I have a plan, though. Once that wall's built, we will tear down that wall because he's not going to become president again in 2020. This impeachment trials are going on right now. Hopefully, they take care of him sooner than 2020. Sooner the better. But if he gets some of his wall built, we're going to tear down that wall and we're going to give it to people that are going to be building housing for the homeless people throughout the United States. That wall, billions and billions of dollars could be used to get every homeless person in America out of the streets into warmth and shelter, and where they can take a shower, eat a nice warm meal, start some retraining programs where they can get back into becoming productive citizens in the United States here by rehabilitation and training. And some of them may have to go on disability. That's fine. That's why millions of Americans have paid into that program for years to have that program for Social Security and disability. There's many people that work their whole lives that pass away and die in war or just die of accidents, car wrecks, that don't receive a dime of their Social Security, which they've paid in for their whole life. So there's a lot of money in there that should go to the people. That is actually the government takes it for other programs, for other projects, and then they supposedly put IOUs in the Social Security Trust Fund. But I've heard from some Democratic senators that it should be solvent till the year 2040, 2050, right around there. But when my generation gets, to retire here, I'll be eligible for full Social Security in 15 years. I'll only get about 75% of what I've paid in and what I should have got. But unless we do some changes in Washington to protect that, all we have to do is, when you pay into Social Security, the cap, I think right now Obama raised it to $150,000. Once you make more than $150,000, you don't have to pay into Social Security anymore, which we could raise that up to $2 million where you pay in, Social Security tax up $2 million. That would make Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, our disability program solvent for the next 100 years. And also, we could stop the $2 trillion in foreign aid that we're sending to foreign governments right now to protect their military. There's trillions of dollars there. Even the Republicans, Kevin Cramer here in North Dakota, another senator, even said that there's $3 trillion right now that could be recovered from the Cayman Islands. There's 22,000 United States corporations that are eluding taxes by hiding their money in the Cayman Islands. Have one office. There's one little building there with attorneys there that are stealing money right out of America that should be here to help our poor, our infrastructure, our streets, our roads, our people can be taken care of. Bring back that $3 trillion a year or more from the Cayman Islands. I've heard up to $6 trillion. That money comes back. That's one thing Obama was going to do, was try to stop this Cayman Island loophole, and he was going to try to tax the rich, but he was blocked all the way in the House and Senate because the Republicans had the majority in the House and Senate. The first 2 years he got into office, he had the White House and the House and Senate. They were all Democratic, so he got a lot of things done, such as the Obamacare, and many other executive orders to protect our environment got passed through Congress, through the bills. But after the first 2 years, the last 6 years, he was pretty much blocked. And Congress torpedoed, as Mitch McConnell said he was going to do, torpedo Obama, which they did. They wouldn't let him do anything he wanted to pass, so they just blocked him. And that's what, thank goodness we control the House right now, the Democrats, where we can block Trump as much as we can on the budget, because the House works on the budget and also works with the White House. They both do a budget. Then when they agree on a budget, it goes to joint committee, and then the joint committee decides, works out the quirks in there and tries to get an agreement on the U.S. budget. But otherwise, we could just go ahead and keep gerrymandering, or excuse me, like, we don't want to gerrymander, we want to filibuster, basically, as much as we can right now in the Senate to block anything the Senate's attempting to do to protect Donald Trump, which the Republicans have been doing, Moscow, Mitch, Lindsey Graham. These guys are just most corrupt administration ever, worse than Watergate. I need your donations. If you go to my websites, I got Mac Blue has been really good. Just go Google Michael J. Steele for Senate 2022, and you'll see different platforms where you can donate, fundraiser, Act Blue. I just got several of them out there. I need your donations to protect you, the American people. You can call me a protectionist. I'm working to protect our Social Security, our Medicare, Medicaid, our SNAP program, which a lot of people got a $2 raise this month, I guess, or next month. They're going to be getting $2 raise throughout the country. Finally got a little raise. I've been complaining about that, but we need more than $2. The cost of living and the price of food has gone up significantly, but the SNAP program, the food stamp program, has not kept up, hasn't been in congruency with the food stamp program. We finally got a $2 raise, people that are on the SNAP program, but I think we should get significantly more money. I want to get right away for the SNAP program, and I want to protect our Social Security, our environment, our oceans, our water. The Republicans just got rid of the Clean Water Act, which was something that Obama had put in place through executive orders. Now we don't even have a Clean Water Act. 185 Republicans in the Senate, in the House, they blocked where we could get lower prescription drug prices because big pharma's, the lobbyists, special interests have been giving them money for years, so they're pretty much bought off. You got a lot of the big oil companies right now buying off a lot of our senators in the House and Senate too in the Republican Party. But there have been a few good deals where a few parts of the country aren't going to allow them to drill oil anymore, and they've actually stopped fracking, So there are, but these are mostly Democratic states, where there's a Democratic majority, because they really care about their people. They choose people over profits. That's what I'm going to be about, the people, over profits. If you don't have people, you're never going to have any profits. So we need to protect our people It's our health, our children's health, it's our planet's health. I'm going to work to lower prescription drugs. We're getting a lot of new generic drugs right now that are lowering the prices, which is great, but I think we can do better. We can do a lot better to help make our drugs more affordable. Like I said before, a lot of people are going to Canada right now to get their insulin. They get their insulin there for $30 a vial. Well, while in the United States it's costing $360 a vial for their insulin. Some people are sharing their insulin. I've read several 20-year-olds that have passed away by they have to portion their they've been to survive. They've been trying to portion their insulin, and it's a lot of people have passed away because of that. They shouldn't have to ration their insulin. It's a tragedy in America that should have never happened, and that's another thing I'm going to do is try to work with the big pharma and try to get the insulin lowered right away so we can start saving lives in America instead of destroying and killing lives like Trump, the Antichrist, has been doing in this country. He's doing everything that's not fit for this country right now. And, you got this group of crazy Christians, 20% of the country that's saying that he's the Messiah, or the chosen one, which is like the Führer. The Adolf Hitler was considered the chosen one. He was the Führer. So we got to stop this Nazi agenda of Trump right now. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's such a list of horrible things that are going on right now in this country, just the atrocities. I've read in many states right now they're just going to they're letting people in nursing homes, elderly people, they're literally starving them to death because their families aren't visiting them anymore, and these nursing homes are claiming they don't get enough money from their Social Security to even feed these people or support them. So they're literally they're using genocide right now to starve our elderly citizens. Some of these people were war heroes. Some of these people contributed to our society for 50, 60, 70 years, paying into the system, helping the program. And they're just tragically letting them die in certain states right now. It's just horrible that this is the Nazi agenda. It's I've read more and more, and I'm convinced. There's a lot of people in our Jewish community right now that are writing letters that said that reminds them of 1939 Germany when Hitler started going against the Jewish people there. And some people say we're in like the third or fourth stage of the Fourth Reich. We're not in the first stage. We're in the third or fourth stage. So we have to really pay attention, and we have to stop this. We have to protest. We have to take to the streets. We have to do everything we can to take back our Constitution, our country. It's really weird. The senator that I'm running against, he was at the 4th of July celebration. They were in Russia celebrating him and Trump, and 5, 6 other Republicans were celebrating our 4th of July celebration in Russia and Moscow with Vladimir Putin. Now, what the hell's wrong with this picture? People, wake up. If you want a fighter, you want someone strong that's going to stand up for North Dakota and stand up for the Constitution of America, please vote for me. Once again, I am Michael J. Steele, your future Senator of North Dakota. I need donations right now. There's a lot of people, estimates are about 25% of America actually are on the computer or have cell phones. So, I mean, there's 75% of the world and the planet, even in the United States, the elderly are not seeing me right now on the phone. They're not hearing my message because they're not doing the computers. They're not computer savvy. No one's stopped to take time to train them. Some of the elderly people I know said that they just don't even want to begin in their life. They want to enjoy their life in their golden ages. They don't want to learn the computer. They don't want to learn cell phones, but some do. I've taught many senior citizens how to use a cell phone or a computer when they've asked. I've sat down, I've taken the time to help. Another thing I want to do is I want to help raise some more funding for our child care, because it takes two people in the family, the husband and the wife, to both to earn a living to support their children. And I want to get some more money to lower the daycare, or actually have a government program to pay for the daycare for our children, so that Americans, we could keep our middle class, where these people can go to work, or maybe the mom could go to college, or and the dad can work, or the dad could go to college and mom could work. But we need child care, and I think we're going to start an initiative when I'm in the Senate to provide further funding for child care for families that would like to go to college or work, but the children, need somewhere to be in a safe environment and a well-trained environment. So we're going to do that. We're going to have a healthcare initiative for I'm sorry, we're going to have a daycare initiative for our workers and our moms and dads that are working or going to school. My old college was really cool. We had a lot of the parents, their children could come, and we had a daycare center in my old alma mater, my college, Minnesota State University in Moorhead, where you could actually bring your children there, and they had daycare for them there while you were, in class. That was pretty awesome. But I know that's not available at every college or community college throughout the United States. So that's something we could work on. There's so many projects that we can work on. I've said before, I'm gonna fight to allow my Native American brothers and sisters in North Dakota to be able to vote. They've been denied the right to vote in this state for many, many years. And also I want to fight for our students that attend our universities in North Dakota to vote, because most of them, when they go to college, they get a letter from the college saying, yeah, they're a student at NDSU or UND and University of North Dakota, and it says, yeah, this is their address, dorm room B. Well, that's not good enough for this Al Jackoff that it was Secretary of State in North Dakota. I think they might have got rid of him, or they should, but he basically made it to where the students couldn't vote because they had to bring a driver's license or a photo ID with a permanent address. Well, most of these students they're from out of state. They don't live in North Dakota. They live all over the country. They come here. But the deal is, North Dakota is going to be taking in their money for their schools, and universities are going to get billions of dollars from these students to come here, and they're going to live here 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 years in North Dakota. They're going to be living here. They're going to be eating in our restaurants. They're going to be contributing to our economy here in North Dakota. So they deserve the right to vote in North Dakota. And also, thing is, in North Dakota, to actually vote, all you got to do is be a citizen in North Dakota for 30 days. And you're eligible to register to vote here, which you register on the day you vote. We don't have a pre-registration. You just got to prove residency for 30 days in North Dakota to vote, which is, you could bring your electric bill that shows that you've been here 30 days, excuse me. You could bring, just anything, a rental, so something from your landlord showing that you've been a renter for 30 days. And then you get the right to vote. Well, that ain't even really, that's so idiotic to where these students aren't allowed to vote, or our Native Americans, because the natives basically, they put the address down of the reservation that they're on. But that wasn't good enough. They need an address, a permanent address. Well, if they're living on a reservation, they're Native Americans. They've been here forever. I think that proves a 30-day residency. But North Dakota's been allowing this disgraceful voting discrimination to go on for years here against our Native American brothers, sisters, and our students, who will be leading the world, and they would like to participate in the political process because they're going to college to learn how to participate and become future leaders. And if they're denied the right to vote, that's really going to get our students a negative outlook on our society and how the world works, and it shouldn't work that way. And also, you wonder why our Native American brothers and sisters are upset. They're this Keystone Pipeline, on their land, there was treaties where no one was going to bother them on their land. They put natives on reservations. It's their land. And then we got these oil pipelines that have been passed by Trump's judges and that but they've been leaking these damn pipelines all over the country on Native American land. There's, millions of barrels of oil, and not, you don't hear about it. They covered up on the news and everything. That's all hush hush. But I've talked to many Native American brothers and sisters. I've gone to some of their outreach programs, some of their Native American leadership quorums where they've actually talked about how the oil has leaked in these pipelines. These Keystone pipelines, they break, they leak, they rust, lightning hits them, earthquakes. Some states I know right now, you could look it up. I can't tell you off the top of my head, have stopped fracking because it's causing earthquakes throughout parts of the country. So, I mean, we got to think of our future, and our children's future and our grandchildren's future. And we got to really wake up and start doing some things that are good for the country, not good for these, the 1%, and their pocketbooks, and the stockholders, I'm going to tell all you stockholders out there too, if you don't have clean air to breathe, you don't have clean water to drink, you don't have safe food, safe drugs, your profits, you can shove them up your ass for all I care. Because you're going to die anyway, just like the rest of us, because you're on this big planet, this big spaceship spinning around at 360,000 miles an hour, and you're going to die just like the rest of us, and you can shove your money up your butt, But speaking of money, I need donations to get my message throughout North Dakota. There's 53 counties in North Dakota, and I want to travel. I'd like to do it in style in a bus with my staff of 9. There'd be 10 of us, and they would be helping me coordinate the campaign and, visiting with people, knocking on doors. We have to hand out literature, hats, T-shirts, food. We'd like to have some chili cook-offs, some stew, some pie and ice cream with you guys, some cake, and my tour is to have a tour bus to travel through North Dakota with my staff, but worst comes to worst, I'm just going to hire a driver, and it might just be me and one person driving around through the state. I'd like to talk to the farmers because, like I've said many times, the farmers have been getting screwed with this China gate deal with Trump, where he put 25% tariff on the Chinese, so they just basically gave us the finger and said, well, we're going to buy from Brazil and Russia. So a lot of our farmers in North Dakota have lost $4 billion. The farmers throughout the whole United States, have lost, I've heard up to $500 billion in agricultural sales to China and countries that are in compliance with China. We need to decide where we're going to sell our products, and I'd like to speak to the farmers and solve some problems with them where we can create new avenues for them to sell their sugar beets, and we should start growing different crops. If China's not going to be buying certain goods from us, we should concentrate on other goods, or keep making the crops we're creating, but look for different avenues to sell them in different countries for trade. Maybe we can start bargaining with other countries and start trading for things we need here right at home. We might have to do that, but I know a lot of countries, we actually buy a lot of stuff from different countries already, but we can trade some more of our agricultural products with countries, our trade partners we have now. And Trump said, stop buying products made in China. Now, ain't that a good one? Everything I pick up and look at is made in China. And he's telling us to not buy anything, to boycott China. And half of his banners and his flyers and everything he has, his propaganda, is made in China. and he's telling me not to buy in China. Now, this guy is the Antichrist. He's not even a fruitcake. There's that 20 to 30% of these nut jobs that follow this guy are just insane. And another thing I'd like to address is all the killings. From the racism from Trump. I remember the guy driving that car in that crowd. A couple of years ago, there's been killings, there's been murders because of this president. There's been an uprise of racism. Listen, brothers and sisters, we're all on this planet together. We need each other to survive. I need you to grow my food. I need the fire department to fight fires. I need the police department to protect and serve. We need each other. We need products. We need our companies right now to make our products that help build our homes. We need our electrical grids. We need our computers to communicate. We're all dependent. We're all interdependent on one another, and we can't let this president continue to divide us. There's going to be a time where even us Republicans and Democrats will have to unite. Well, Trump said it in his own words. The aliens. He's going to build a space force to protect us from the aliens that could invade us. But I know this for a fact. I've talked to the aliens that said they're not going to pay for Trump's space force. So don't worry about that. But we're going to all have to unite. Seems like Trump's dumped the Bahamas. A lot of the celebrities, Michael Jordan, I think's given $1 million. A lot of the celebrities are going to be helping the Bahamas. And here's Trump saying all these rapists and murderers and thieves and killers and criminals are going to be coming to America from the Bahamas, which is a complete crock of crap. I remember when they had them people coming over from Honduras and Central America. They were on that bridge, and he said that was your worst hardened criminals. I studied that picture. If you study it, it's grandmothers, mothers and their little children, senior citizens, elderly. They don't look like your average everyday rapists, thugs, killers, gang members, drug dealers, that are here to harm our country. And that's what Trump says now, that all these thugs are going to be coming here from the Bahamas to hurt us and harm us. Well, he's trying to say that so that they'd love to take away our guns and all of our rights is what they'd really like to do. Sometimes I think this chaos is created to, I'm sorry to say, to take away our guns and our rights. Another thing I'm going to address when I'm a senator is we got to get to the bottom of why these students are going into these grade schools like Columbine and El Paso shooters, all these shooters. There's something wrong with the human condition here in America. And it wasn't like this growing up when I was a kid. We have to straighten this out. We have to get to the bottom of it. Is it the drugs that these people are on? Is that part of the reason? What is causing all these shootings? Is it a mass movement to get rid of our guns? Are these people trying to martyr people in themselves to get rid of our guns? Is it a government Manchurian project, an internal CIA movement to brainwash people to go out and shoot and kill people? And like these people in Vegas, the guy shooting and killing 100 and some people, the one in El Paso, it just goes on and on and on, all these internal killings. There's been more killings in the United States from American citizens with guns than the terrorist attacks, other than 9/11. That was a horrible tragedy, which I'll never forget. That's another thing. Trump's wall is not going to protect us from planes hitting buildings, because I remember what happened with 9/11. Walls. Drones are going to go right over his wall. He's going to build a wall. The drug lords are already flying these sophisticated drones. There's video evidence all over the internet. They're flying their drugs right over the wall, and they're laughing, and they're just flying them right into the other side. They're flying planes in at most of your ports, where your airplane hangars, your ports. That's where your drugs come in. This wall is just a big waste of money. And it's going to help make Trump's friends a lot of money. And then, it's a temporary band aid for the economy because some people that are building it, my state, for one, was like one of the first ones to say, "Yeah, we'll help build your wall. We'll get the big government contract to make billions of dollars, or whatever." But it's a temporary band aid. Once that wall's built, it's all over. Then it's coming down. Then we're going to tear the wall down and we're going to take that wood and we're going to build housing for the homeless with it. So let them build the wall. We'll tear that son of a bitch down. But I'm Michael J. Steele. If you like me and you like what I'm telling you, the truth, I'm not bought off by any corporations. I'm running a grassroots campaign. You can donate. Go to Michael J. Steele for United States Senate 2022. And please donate to my campaign because I need you to get me elected so that I can start doing my work in Washington to stand up for you, the American people. I'm not going to work for the corporations. I'm going to defend you, and I'll work right alongside Bernie Sanders. Bernie kind of uses some of my stuff that I say. I know he does. He's listening to what I say. I talked to Bernie. I met Bernie. I got endorsed by Joe Biden here in November, which was awesome. I don't know. I think a good ticket would be right now Bernie Biden or Biden Bernie. I don't know. They should join forces right now to go after Trump. And we need to unify the Democratic Party instead of dividing it. I guess the Republicans, what lunatics they are, they're not going to hold a primary. They're just going to go ahead and put Humpty Trumpty on the ballot, which is pretty much a dictatorial dick move, just like Adolf Hitler did some of this stuff. Trump's got 24 different cabinet positions that are now open from all the people that have quit or resigned or gone to prison that have worked for him. Anybody that has anything to do with this guy, they wind up dead in prison, or they resign and they get as far away from this lunatic as they can. The thing is right now, though, he's consolidating power. He does not want to fill these positions in his cabinet, and that's dangerous. Hitler did that, and that's what he did. He consolidated power. And you mark my words, we're just, we got to start really paying attention. We got a long haul ahead of us. I'm holding my breath till 2020 when we, the American people, tell Donald Trump, "You're fired." Ain't that going to be a great day? Let's do it. And I love you all, and I hope you help me out. And if I knew you were all going to vote for me, I wouldn't ask for one penny. If you could all guarantee in the state of North Dakota you'd vote for me to be your next United States Senator, I wouldn't ask for money. But I need to get out and reach people in the rural communities that aren't that don't even have cable TV. They don't have satellite TV. They don't know what's going on. They don't do cell phones. They don't do internet. Them are the people I got to reach, the ones on the margins. And got to talk to our farmers and see what they need. Like I say, I got to talk to military families, see where they're lacking. I think they're doing pretty good. Trump, he gave $789 billion to the military so they wouldn't, grab him and lock him up in a block stockade or something. He didn't want to be bound and quartered in a stockade by the military because I'm sure they're not very happy with him either. A lot of the military leaders that I've talked to are not happy with him. They don't like what he's doing. He's actually hurting our presence in the world, our universal presence in the world. He's hurt us with our NATO alliances. He's hurt a lot of our partnerships throughout the United States. This guy's just dangerous. And, my Senator John Hoeven, he's right up there eating hamburgers with him when they brought our bison. They won 7 championships out of the last 8 to the White House here in North Dakota, NDSU Bison, which is go Bison. It's wonderful. But that cheap bastard Trump had him, fed him McDonald's hamburgers up there and up in the White House, which is a crock of shit. And there's John Hoeven, Trump's new go-to guy. He's right there, got his nose so far up Trump's ass that I can't even believe he's even still breathing, But he's like, where's Waldo? People in Fargo try to find him. We can't find him. You can't get a hold of him. There's no transparency, I'm going to be accessible. I'm going to give you transparency. I'm going to tell you the truth, what's going on in Washington, D.C. I'm going to bring your concerns to Washington, D.C. I'm going to get funding for North Dakota like you've never seen before. I'm going to get funding here in North Dakota like you've never seen before because we need money now to help people now. We don't need money like this legacy program. Uh, for the oil money that they put away for our children and grandchildren's future, and we won't be able to touch it for 50 years. This is a big Republican slush fund. 50 years, I'll be dead. My son will be in 50 years. He'll be 75 years old. Like he's really going to get some of that money. If he has kids, maybe his kids will get some money. Well, no, they'll be grown men too. They won't get it either. So it's not going to even help my grandchildren. My great grandchildren won't see any of that money. What it is, it's a Republican slush fund. They're going to put this oil money away. They're going to tell you, oh, we're not going to touch it for 50 years. Then they're going to wait about 30 years till everybody forgets about it. Then they're going to go in and they're going to misappropriate the funds, give themselves big raises, create some other bureaus for their rich millionaire friends or their poor friends, and just get them in there and make them rich and give them some jobs here in North Dakota, or steal the money when we forget about it. Just pocket it with giving themselves bonuses and everything like they do here in North Dakota. So if you want real American, real Constitution, you want a real patriot in there, someone that's related to a man that fought with George Washington. You're looking at him. My great 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 grandfather fought with George Washington, fought right alongside of him for your freedom right now, for your Constitution, for America's dream, this great experiment we live in. If you want someone with the patriot's blood going through his body, through every orifice, I'm your man. Vote for me, Michael J. Steele. I'd like to thank you once again for listening, and please listen often because I got very important information I'm trying to give the American people, and I love you guys, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. And God bless you, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for listening and joining in. And I'm Michael J. Steele for United States Senate 2022, and I approve this message.